Hi, everybody. Welcome to the weekly webinar with vFairs. Just going to let everybody filter through and join today's session. Feel free to pop in the chat and let us know where you are all joining from in the world. Just give it a few seconds. So welcome to today's weekly webinar. So we're episode 8 this week with vFairs. My name is Danica. I work on the sales team at vFairs and I'm based in London. And my colleague Steph is based in Dubai and she's a sales manager. So yeah, lovely to welcome you all in. Please pop in the chat where you're all joining from today. And what will happen in today's webinar is the lovely Stephanie will run over an all-in-one platform of the vFairs platform for you all. So run over a demo so you can see all the offerings that we have to offer at vFairs. And we are having a giveaway prize, which will happen right at the end of today's webinar. So make sure you stay right till the end to see if you are a winner. Feel free any point to pop in your questions, anything to do with today's session, any other questions that you have in the chat or the Q&A function. So yeah, welcome, and I will pass you over to Steph.
Thank you, Danica. Thanks everyone for joining in. Like Danica mentioned, on today's webinar, we are going to go through an all-in-one event management solution demonstration, and this is a quick overview of what I'll be covering. So at vFairs, we help you execute events, whether it's virtual, hybrid, or in person. And these 3 different types of events have different modules that you can include for your events, such as the registration and ticketing process, which is usually pre-event. We'll address that. We'll talk about the virtual component that could be used for 100% virtual events or even a mix with the hybrid experience. And then I'll walk you through what the in-person offerings look like, all the way from welcoming your attendees and streamlining the badge printing solution to having a branded mobile app to help you with lead capture, networking, and much more. As a start, with a quick overview, I'll walk you through some reviews we've gotten on vFairs, just to share what clients have to say about vFairs. So let me open up this link here and dive right in. What I have open here is g2.com, which is a third-party review website, giving you an overview of different client ratings and what they have to say about different vendors. As you can see, vFairs is the top choice. We're ranked #1, and that is because the platform is extremely easy to use, set up, and the quality of support you'll have with our team is unbeatable. What we offer is a very white glove service. What I mean by that is there's going to be an extension to your team, which is a dedicated project manager, project coordinator, and a customer success manager that we will assign for your event. And they will be alongside you to set up the entire journey and be with you on the live day for live day support. So let's get started with what the implementation and what phase 1 is going to look like. We understand, when you're connecting from all over and you might be from different industries planning different types of events. So I'm going to keep it general. Just again, as an overview, we have helped clients with conferences, trade shows, recruitment events. We do a lot of onboarding or benefit fairs, webinar series, and much, much more. And I'll walk you through a couple of these examples, starting off with a trade show example. No matter what event it is that you're planning for, the journey will always start with a landing page and registration form, so you can get the word out, start promoting that event, and receiving registrations. For that, we'll help set up a beautiful customized landing page that will have all of the information about your virtual, hybrid, or in-person event, such as the date and time, the location, what are the benefits of participating. You can add countdowns, you can add FAQs, and much more. In this case, it's a recruitment type event. So what we've done is we've added a lot of branding for AT&T for its potential candidates. And we've added different type of information like career opportunities at AT&T or the innovation and diversity that they have, different awards that they've won. And in this case, we're planning for an in-person event. And while we've added similar information like who are the speakers, who are the exhibitors, because it was in person, we've also added the Google Maps location, as well as any instructions if you want to install the mobile app. So all of these examples that I showed you are going to serve the purpose of educating the attendees on what to expect from the event, and it will push them to register for the conference. Registration's very customized, and the great thing with vFairs is that the solution is endless. You can have the data already at hand that you wish to import. You can use our custom, fully branded registration forms where we apply conditional logic and have different types of registrations. You can have a very custom form. So whichever information is crucial for you, we can make sure that we capture. And we've got multiple options for integrations as well. Whether you're using the likes of Salesforce, HubSpot, Marketo, and much more, we can integrate with them. Or if you wanted to capture payment for your events, we even have integrations with payment gateways, such as PayPal or Stripe, to allow the attendees to learn more about the different tickets that are available, select what they want to purchase and the additional add-ons that they want, and then apply any kind of discounts or coupon codes before they order the item and complete the transaction. Once registration's been complete, the attendees will receive a confirmation email that's fully branded, and it will include your logos as well as any other info you want in there, such as mark your calendar, Google Maps location in case it's an in-person event, or the QR code that is generated for them upon registering. Or if it's simply virtual, then we can also add their credentials along with marking their calendar so they know when and how to access the event on the day of the conference. Now, one more thing, talking about the emails that are being sent out, while you can give us the content and we can add these using our email builder, should you need any assistance with creating the content for these events, we've even got AI assistants within our backend that can help you create content for multiple parts of the event itself. In this example, I've marked down social media, and I've asked AI support for a pre-event post that I want to add on LinkedIn. And I added a couple of keywords in here, such as the tone of voice that I want to relay and any kind of hashtags that I want to use. Upon clicking on generate, it will give me the text with all of the information about my event, the hashtags that I listed, and it will make it sound however I've opted for. I can see a preview of this on the side, and I can use this AI assistance across multiple parts, such as generating notifications, helping me create content for my landing page or email marketing, reminders, confirmations. I can use AI to generate Q&A with my moderators, create video scripts, press releases, and much more. With this, we've wrapped up everything that's taking place leading up to the event. And now I'm going to walk you through what happens for the virtual attendees before we dive into the in-person experience as well. While we're keeping it general and addressing different use cases, if you've got any specific questions, please feel free to message me and my colleague Danica in the chat. We'd be more than happy to assist in parallel. So now that it's the live day of your event, the first thing that attendees see once they log into the platform is a 3D looking immersive design. The idea here is to wow your attendees, give them that great first impression, maybe even give them the feeling that they're actually walking into that specific location. So there's tons of design templates that you can choose, lots of branding opportunities down to the diversity that you're seeing within the avatars or how they're even dressed up, formal, casual, we can design all of that for you. It will be very branded, whether it's with your logos or with your colors. There will be lots of sponsorship opportunity as well. So we understand sponsorship generates to, it leads to revenue generation. So if you'd like to increase their branding and exposure, there's tons of opportunities there within our design templates. And we've got tons of designs, like I mentioned earlier, whether they're static, there's 2D, there's 3D. You can get in touch with us if you'd like to learn more about all of these examples. But for the time being, I'll also show you some of my personal favorites, which in my case are custom designs. For both of these examples that I'll show you, the clients opted to recreate the environment. So for this event right here, we've made it look like you're actually walking into the Hilton Chicago. And we've replicated the full event. Every room in the event was a replica of the Hilton. And another client of ours, which is Microsoft, also opted to have their exterior as an exact replica as though you're walking into their headquarters office. So all of this is possible when we talk about the look and feel and the different designs through vFairs, down to the avatars that I mentioned could either be your team members or they could be very diverse and customized. With that, we spoke about how the event will look. Next, I'm going to talk about what kind of functionalities you're going to get within this environment. First thing on the list is going to be the information desk. While earlier we spoke about the support that you're going to get, which is the dedicated team on our side that is helping you build all of this, on the day of the live event, we will also be there alongside you. So should your attendees have any questions, they can simply go into the help desk, chat with the vFairs rep, and in case further support is required, we can even have one-on-one direct conversation with your attendees that extend beyond chat, and we can have audio and video calls with them as well. Next up on our list is going to be the exhibit hall, which will serve multiple purposes depending on your use case. These different booths could represent multiple things. They could be vendors, they could be exhibitors, they can be different sponsors. If it's a trade show, you can see who are the different sellers that are within that exhibit booth, and then click on any one of these stands, learn more about who they are, what they do, maybe even browse through the products that they have, and even place purchase orders as well from this company. If we're talking about a conference, typically we see different sponsors, and the exhibit hall itself could look very diverse. And if we're talking about recruitment events, then again, same booth, different designs, but now what each booth represents would be maybe different departments that you're hiring for. Irrespective what this booth will represent, depending on your use case, they will still have the same functionalities, which is number one, it's going to be very branded. It's diverse avatars or even your avatars that could be added in here. It's very branded in terms of the look and feel of the stand itself. It could be something very 2D, meaning it's just a banner with a logo, or it could look like an actual booth as well. Number two is you can share unlimited resources, as much content as you want, and in any format. So the content could take me to external links. They could be descriptions about what I have to offer. If it's a trade show, it could be a list of products that you have. If it's a recruitment event, it could be the list of the job vacancies that you're hiring for, and much more. And the third thing is any of the attendees that come and visit your booth can also start a chat with your team. And while this chat is on the spot, I generated a conversation with their team, it goes without saying that meetings could also be scheduled. Scheduling meetings works either way. It can either be requested by the attendee to book a meeting with their rep, or vice versa. The reps could look up the list of attendees and book meetings with them directly. All of these conversations are going to be text, audio, or video calls in a one-on-one format. And as mentioned, could be scheduled either on the day off or even a couple of days leading up to the conference itself. And the final feature that we have on a booth is analytics. Analytics are so important, and they help you understand what's the ROI of the events. So no matter what the booth presents, you will still be able to see how many people visited that stand, clicked, downloaded, viewed the resources, all of the chat transcripts, everything will be given back to you, so you can better understand the value of participating at this event. Next up on the list is going to be our other room, which is the auditorium room, or sometimes clients refer to it as a main stage area. This is where all of the attendees are going to be gathered to watch a keynote presentation, watch panel discussions, and these conversations could be anything from pre-recorded videos, they could be live, they could be semi-live, or they could even be streamed from an in-person venue. These are some templates to how the look and feel of the event, of the auditorium could look like. And in terms of what the sessions look like, here's a quick overview. Now, we also understand that during these sessions, interaction, engagement is very important. So should you require anything like running polls, running surveys, running Q&A, or even having smaller networking rooms like breakout sessions, we facilitate all options. And should you require the interface of the event or the sessions to be in another language, we've got different translation services in place as well. To this point, this is a very high-level overview of the core functionalities within vFairs. There are some options that are, depending on client requirements. If what events you are all hosting for, if your top priorities are to increase networking and engagement, then the next part of my demonstration would be for you. If networking is basically key for your event, I would strongly suggest adding a roundtable option. With the roundtable networking, you can create as many tables as you want, and these tables can also be timed. So at certain times of the conference, certain rooms could be made available. And then in each setting, you've got a certain number of seats within each table. And some of these seats could also be pre-scheduled for the host of that table. It's fully branded. It can have any title that you want. And here are more examples with tables with bigger seats as well. The idea is that once this round table goes live, depending on the vacant seats available, I can jump in, secure my place, and have a conversation with everyone else that's in that table. Chat, audio, and video is all supported. And then I can simply leave that room and enter the other as well for their network. Next up on the list, and a top client favorite, is Spatial Connect. Spatial Connect it's a close comparison with a metaverse feel for networking. The way it works is at a certain time of the event, we'll prompt a notification for all of your attendees to enter this space, which is our spatial networking space. And there's tons of different design templates as well to how this room could look like. So you can see it could look like a meeting room. It could look like you're having a beach party. And throughout that room, every individual is going to have this white radius around them, so they can move around from one space to the other. As long as two individuals are within that circle, they can hear and speak with each other, while in parallel also being able to chat with the rest of the people within that room. This is very close to in-person. Just picture yourself walking into a hall and then bumping into a group of people having a conversation and joining in. And we can have that for your virtual attendees through this feature. Another popular feature for networking is smart matchmaking. And this is one of my personal favorites. It works as though you're having speed dating between attendees. And this could be done completely at random or as a smart way of matching people. What I mean by that is the following. Again, during a certain time of the event, we'll prompt a message and have everyone join that networking room. And once they're in that room, they're going to be prompted with certain questions. And what these questions are completely up to you. Is it event related or is it just completely random questions? But the idea is to pair like-minded individuals with one another. Once I give my answer to these questions, it will find me a match and pair me with another attendee on the spot. When I'm paired with the other individual, as you can see, it's with audio and video. And at the bottom of the screen are some ice-breaking questions, which could again be completely random questions to break the ice between both, or event-related questions. And as you can see at the top corner, we've even got a timer that shows me the countdown of how much time I have remaining with this individual before moving on to the next attendee. These calls could be extended. And if you want to share your contact with the person that you're engaging with one click, the other attendee will have access to your information. Now, for the next priority, in case you're looking at engagement in parallel to these features, then I strongly suggest having a couple of gamifications added to the event as well. With gamifications, you can add things like a scavenger hunt, where you keep your attendees engaged by letting them, go on a treasure hunt and find any of these hidden clues or hidden items that you've added within the conference itself. These objects are very custom, so they could be anything that matches the theme of your event. They could be your logos. They could be icons that you use to promote sponsorship. And this could be done either this way, where it shows me the list of all of the items that I need to go on a hunt for, or it could be done sequentially, which means once I locate item number 1, I would get the clue to find item number 2. And this is what the scavenger hunt looks like in the event itself. Next up, we've got the leaderboard. Leaderboard is pretty self-explanatory. It's based on a point system. The idea here is there's different actions that attendees can take at the event. Depending on what is a top priority for you, you can simply bump the score for that and increase the points that you allocate once attendees visit a certain booth, download certain documents, watch certain sessions. And the more they're engaged, the more points they're going to accumulate. And if they're at the top of the list, they can increase their chances of winning different prizes. Last up on my demo for the virtual piece is the photo booth feature, which we've seen a lot of clients opt for as well. With the photo booth, your attendees at any point of the event can go in, take a selfie, take a boomerang, And then these images will appear in the photo gallery for everyone else to explore. You can add likes to these images. And then you can even give away prizes by saying the most unique picture or the picture with the highest amount of likes could earn prizes as well. We've kept it high level, but we've addressed all of the core functionalities within the virtual space. If you've got any questions, Danica, that I might have missed in the demo, let me know. Otherwise, we'll proceed with what the extension of this to an in-person conference could look like.
Nothing as of yet, Steph. We're all good. Thank you.
Perfect. So to kind of discuss the in-person, I'm going to go back one step. When we spoke about these confirmation emails that attendees were getting, we spoke about this example here and said, if it's in person, the attendees are going to get their Google Maps location and their QR code. And this is where this feature is going to be valuable for you and the users. When attendees walk into the venue where the event is taking place, what we aim to do is reduce that long queue and make the process of them checking in, collecting their badge, a very simple one. So for that, we've got our badge printing software, which can help you in 3 different ways to print out badges at the event. Scenario number 1 is an attendee has their QR code. They simply need to scan their QR code and it prints out their fully branded badge. Everything you're seeing in this video, from the badges to the lanyards, to the iPads, printers, and much more, will all be provided by vFairs as that all-in-one event solution. And should you require our team to be alongside you to help set this up, we're more than happy to provide on-site support as well. Scenario 2 is the following. An attendee walks up to you, but they do not have their QR code handy. In that case, you look them up on the back end. Without the need to scan a QR code, it prints out their badge. And scenario number 3 is the following. Let's say you've got a list of attendees that you know are confirmed in terms of attendance. What you can do a couple of hours, days before the event is select that group of people and opt to have their badges printed in bulk beforehand. And this is what that process looks like. Perfect. I'll pause here in case there's any questions. Meanwhile, I'll just share my screen and walk you through the mobile app offering as well.
We've got all the questions underhand at the moment, everybody on LinkedIn and on the Zoom webinar as well. Thank you for adding in your questions. So yeah, carry on, Steph.
Perfect. Now, the mobile app will be fairly quick because a lot of the features are a replica of the virtual offering. But just to highlight, the app that we're addressing could be the standard vFairs mobile app, which you can find on the App Store for you to download, App Store or Google Play Store. Or if branding is key for you, I'd strongly suggest white labeling the app as well. In that case, if you are SFN United, if you are NAS or Harvard Trade Show, your attendees would go into the App Store and instead of downloading the vFairs app, would simply download your branded white labeled app to access the event. For now, let's go through the vFairs mobile app and walk you through all of the functionalities. I know we've got a global audience, so it's worth mentioning that the app could be in multiple languages, wherever you're connecting from. These are the languages that we currently support. And because they've already registered for the event, it's as simple as adding their email address and they're signed in. For the sake of our demo, I'm going to access our demo event and walk you through what some of these features on the app would look like. We understand that sponsorship, whether it's virtual or in person, plays a very important role. So for that, we can help you with different splash ads and banner ads, like the one you're seeing here, the splash ad that takes up the full screen, or the banner ads at the bottom of the page. Everything you're seeing on this app is highly customized, all the way from what kind of images you add in here, your Google Maps location, the title of your event, and everything else you're seeing here at the bottom. Very custom in terms of, one, if you want to have them or not. Number two, if you want to have them, what kind of branding do you want? Is it a different color? Is it a different icon? Is it a different name? So all of this could be tweaked for your event requirements, and you can only opt for the features that are a top priority for you. And here are some of the key things that I feel for any event could be relevant. To start off, we've got this widget at the top. So this is going to be the bell for your notifications. Any updates you have at the event, any changes that are happening at the event, you can push notifications on the fly, or you can have these pre-scheduled before the live day as well to pop up at certain times. Second thing is the QR code functionality. This is going to be used multiple times in the event. First off, you can scan QR codes. Second thing is this feature will let you see your own unique QR code in case you're sharing your profile with someone else. This functionality can help you, one, check into the event. Number two, check into sessions. Number three, it can help you network with other attendees and much, much more. A lot of the capabilities we spoke about for the virtual piece are mirrored over here, such as having like a main stage area to showcase the agenda of the event. You can search for sessions. You can filter through these sessions. We can even support having personalized agendas in case you've got attendees that you want to have different access levels to. There's different tracks in case you're going to have a multi-day event, day 1, 2, and 3. It's very easy for us to identify which day I'm at and then see the sessions according to that. I can rate these presentations and the speakers. I can book my seats in case there's limited capacity for that session itself, add it to my personalized agenda. When I'm attending the session, I have the ability to take notes as well, which I can download later on. And once I click on the session itself, I can learn more about the speakers. I can review any kind of handouts that are made available. I can see the location of the event. And in case you want to have participation with the attendees for further engagement, you can even have polling, you can have surveys, you can have quizzes, all within the app itself. If you're interested in certain speakers and you want to see what sessions they are presenting in, you can even go into the speaker hub, look them up, and then whichever speaker that you click on, you will be able to see their social media links. You'll be able to see their bio and what sessions they will be presenting in. Another key thing for in-person events is also how the event layout is going to be and how I'm going to locate these booths. For that, an event floor plan is very important. And this is where we can break it down. You know, all of the sponsors, all the exhibitors you have are going to be showcased within this floor plan. And then I can zoom through, I can see how I can navigate from one booth to the other, and I can even review them in this layout. Whichever booth I'm interested in, I can simply bookmark that. I can make my way in person and speak with the reps on that booth, or even better, if there's a long queue for that exhibitor, I can simply go into the app directly, go into the sponsor hall or like an exhibitor hall, locate the vendor that I want to speak with, and then have access to all of their resources. I can, review their documents, or I can even pre-schedule meetings with them during any time of my liking. I can choose who I want to speak with, what time I want to speak with them, and where I want to conduct that meeting as well. There's in-depth reporting on all of the engagement happening on the app as well. So in case you're thinking, all of these analytics, is there any way that I can capture those leads? Is there any lead retrieval to give to my sponsors and much more? The answer is yes. We can capture every click, every download, every visit, and much, much more. So a lot of the app, as you can see, is mirroring the virtual offering as well. We support chat on the app, whether it's text, audio, or video call. We do have, for networking purposes, we've got the matchmaking feature on the app. We've got attendee search as well. So if I know someone specific is attending, I can look them up and start a chat. We've got a hub of all of your resources as well that could be added for easier access. Support is always there. No matter the use case, no matter the scale of your event, we will always be there in parallel to help your attendees. And in case you wanted to gamify the in-person event as well, similar features we spoke about for the virtual are available here. You can always add a leaderboard on the mobile app and give them points for every time they scan QR codes, every session that they attend. And again, you can see who's rating highest in terms of these points and give away sponsored prizes. You can even have a QR-based scavenger hunt where these hidden items that you have are paired with a QR code, and your attendees would be on a hunt to find all of these different tasks. Once they scan the QR code on that specific task, you're going to find that that was completed on their side, how many points they've earned, and how they compare with the other players that are also on the hunt to find these clues. You can have the photo booth as well within the app, similar to what we went through earlier. They can come in here, take a selfie, take a boomerang, And then once they take their image, they will be available to review it on the photo gallery. One thing we didn't mention for the virtual piece, which is key in case you're very active with social media as well, is we've got the social wall as well as an offering, which means anytime your attendees are posting things on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and they're using a certain hashtag around that event, we can easily mirror those within the social wall to help you create more word of mouth and more engagement around your session. Depending on the use case, you might require other features. We're more than happy to elaborate further on these. But in case you are planning a trade show, please let us know. We're more than happy to walk you through how you can list your products, how you can have attendees add these products to their cart and check out. And if you're planning any recruitment event, more than happy to walk you through how you can arrange or schedule these interviews and showcase your different jobs. With this, we've wrapped up the all-in-one demo. I'll just conclude with the reporting and any questions that we might have missed. More than happy to assist with that. When it comes to reporting, just like we mentioned earlier, everything's going to be tracked. This is an example of what your analytics are going to look like. Again, when you're generating these reports, you can choose any time frame. So if it's on the live date or when the event is over, or any custom date range as well. And you can have an overview showing you all of the attendees that had registered, logged in, didn't log in, and unique logins as well. You can have a breakdown of every single attendee type as well in terms of login activity and much more. You can generate similar reports for booth reps, for speakers, for admins, event owners, and much, much more. There's tons of reports that we can help you generate. And what's extremely interesting as one of our most recent offering is with our reporting right now, instead of having to go into the backend and generating the reports manually, you can also have a chat with an AI bot that will better understand your event components, your event analytics. And you can simply ask a question like, how many attendees registered for the event? And the AI bot will go through the reporting and give you the answer for the questions that you've asked. There's different suggested prompts, as you can see, for event stats, for booth stats, webinars, and much more. I hope you all found this session helpful. I know we've kept it pretty high level, but if you have any further questions or you'd like us to assist in any way further, please let us know. Otherwise, I'll redirect it over to Danica for next steps.
Thank you so much, Steph. I just have one question in the chat from Stella. Stella's asked, how long does it usually take to plan and set up a virtual event?
Sure. Stella, that's a great question. And there's different factors that you would need to consider. If your question's on a technical standpoint, it doesn't take time. A couple of weeks is more than enough. But if you're having a public event and you want to have the right number of registered users to contribute for the event, that's why I suggest a couple of months. But it could be done anywhere from your 2 weeks, 4, 6. Technical wise, it won't take that long.
Great, thank you, Steph. And just one last question. How long can my virtual event stay on demand for?
Sure, that's completely up to you. The minimum is going to be for a month. We've seen clients keeping it available for 12 months. So it's very custom. You can choose the duration that you want the event to be archived for people to revisit and view the information.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That wraps up today's webinar with vFairs. So thank you so much to Steph for running over all the in-person offerings, the virtual offerings and hybrid. Obviously, reach out to myself or Steph via LinkedIn and we can answer any further questions that you do have. We have got a winner for today's giveaway. So at the beginning of the webinar, I did say that we would be giving away a prize, which is a £200 voucher off your next event with vFairs. So today's winner for that is Antonetta. So Antonetta, we will get in touch with you. So congratulations on winning that. Thank you so much for everybody joining us, for all your questions, your direct questions. And today's webinar has been recorded and it will be available for you to rewatch, to share with your connections on our YouTube channel. And we will see you next week for our next webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.